would like to start by asking all of us to engage in a few simple activities. First of all, raise your hand high and proud and honest if you swear at least once a week. Okay? Now, keep your hands up if you swear at least once a day. Okay. Finally, put your hands up if you are a devoted swearer. Okay. Amazing, thank you so much. Now, here's something else I would like everybody to do. This time, I want all of us to use our imagination and picture a scene in your mind. Ready? So here's the scene. Imagine this. You sat down to watch your favorite movie. You have the popcorn ready, the dog is at your feet, and now you're definitely ready to watch. And then you see this. Hold on, that's not all. It gets worse. So, in this situation, what might be the first thing you blurt out? It might be something like this. Okay, so where am I going with all this? Just now, I convinced you, or you convinced yourselves, that the same words that we are banned from using, the words that have so much power to upset, actually are heavily used and serve a purpose. They make us feel better. But because of how these words were used in the past, there are natural associations with traits like disrespectful or untrustworthy. But have you ever wondered, how come? Because through these activities that we've just done, we recognize that such language isn't always meant to hurt anyone. So why does everyone around us say no to these words in the first place? How does it affect us psychologically, and what gives these words so much power? To start, we can look at the history. And first off, the history of English taboo language. This language had a pretty bad reputation from about 1,000 years ago, around the time of the Battle of Hastings in England. And this battle ended in England's brand new King William, formerly the Duke of Normandy. And under his rule, England changed a lot, from laws all the way to language. And back in those days, the nobles from Normandy all spoke the high-class, posh language, which was Old French, while the peasants and the commoners used a different language, the inferior, vulgar Old English. And yes, it was the peasants and their Old English language that gave birth to most modern swear words, including the famous S word or F word. Okay. So by looking at the past, we recognize that some aspects of taboo language, in fact, never change. And its status and vulgarity comes from how it was used back then. But of course, language don't quite stay the same, and it's constantly evolving, changing the very definitions of taboo language. And in the midst of this transformation, culture becomes a really important factor. So a normal word in one culture could be extremely offensive in another. In fact, I would like to ask the audience who knows 2 or more languages to try and think of a swear word in each of the languages you know. I guess that was pretty easy, right? Because yes, taboo language is internationally prominent, and it gives us a glimpse of the cultural values linked to that language. For example, in Quebec, Canada, where they use Canadian French, much of the taboo language is linked with the Catholic Church, mostly because of how the church was involved in its history. Or in Thailand, some of the worst swear words that you can say to anyone are about animals, due to its hierarchical structure. So yes, it's true that taboo language is prominent in every culture, and it teaches us a lot about what is important in the culture, especially what people are scared of.